Size, underweight, lack of arm strength. For most quarterbacks, those words would have been career enders, but for Diago Pavia, they were fuel. The critics gave him every reason to quit. Instead, he used every doubt as motivation. From 0 stars to starting quarterback in the SEC, Diago Pavia has heard it all, but his belief in himself has never wavered. In New Mexico, Pavia wasn't just a football player. He was a wrestler, and not just any wrestler. From 4th through 7th grade, he was ranked as the #1 wrestler in his state. By the time he reached Volcano Vista High School, he was a state championship and even earned a partial scholarship to wrestle at the University of Northern Colorado. But wrestling wasn't his true love. Football was. Senior at Volcano Vista, Pavia threw for 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns, while rushing for another 9 scores. But he had just 2 Division II offers. Most players would have taken them, not Diago. He bet on himself and went the JUCO route. Mexico Military Institute, Pavia walked straight into a quarterback competition against a former 4-star recruit and won the job. This was his first real reason stars don't matter, production does. Just over 2 seasons, Pavia was electric, throwing for 2,644 yards and 31 touchdowns, with just 4 picks, while also rushing for more than 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. More importantly, he led New Mexico Military Institute to a NJCAA national championship. That's when his big break came along. The night before the JUCO title game, New Mexico State head coach Jerry Kill and offensive coordinator Tim Beck offered Iowa Western quarterback Nate Glantz a full ride. Word got back to Pavia, and instead of sulking, he lit up the field. Pavia and New Mexico Military Institute beat Iowa Western 31-13. Diago outshined Glantz in front of the very coaches who had doubted him. Watching from a bar, Kill and Beck realized they'd offered the wrong guy. By the end of the night, the offer belonged to Diago Pavia. Other schools showed interest, St. Francis, Jackson State, but New Mexico State was the right fit, especially after Coach Prime made it clear there was no chance Pavia would ever start over Shedeur Sanders. His Division I debut wasn't pretty. Against Nevada, he turned the ball over 4 times and went 9 for 20 and got benched. But Diago never stayed down for long. Later that season, he threw for a career-best 323 yards and 4 touchdowns against Valparaiso, and he torched Liberty on the ground with 125 yards and 3 scores. He finished his first year with 1,450 yards passing and 13 touchdowns, going along with 508 yards rushing. Solid, but in year 2 he took a leap. In 2023, Pavia erupted for nearly 3,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, and 925 yards rushing, on the way to being named Conference USA Player of the Year. With the 2023 season, Pavia entered the transfer portal and committed to Nevada, but when he called his former OC Tim Beck, now at Vanderbilt, to give him the news, fate intervened. Within minutes, Jerry Kill called with an offer to come to Vanderbilt, compete in the SEC, and sign an NIL deal worth $150,000. For Pavia, it was a no-brainer. Nashville was calling. He finished his degree at New Mexico State University, then arrived at Vanderbilt in the summer of 2024. Despite a QB competition, he knew the job was his, and by the end of it, it was. Pavia's debut came against Virginia Tech. 190 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, plus 104 yards and a rushing score and a win. True I'm here moment came weeks later against Alabama. At home, Pavia threw for 252 yards and 2 touchdowns, while adding 56 yards rushing to lead Vanderbilt to a stunning 40-35 upset. He finished his first SEC season with 2,293 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions, while rushing for 801 yards and 8 more scores. He capped off the year with a bowl game victory and was named SEC Newcomer of the Year. With an extra year of eligibility granted, Diago Pavia enters 2025 with even higher expectations. From an unranked, unrecruited high school QB with no Division I offers to the leader of an SEC program, he embodies the underdog spirit. Critics said he was too small, too weak, too raw, but Diago Pavia has always had one thing: they couldn't measure his belief. And that belief has turned him in from a no-name JUCO kid into one of the most intriguing quarterbacks in college. The story isn't finished. In fact, it might be just getting started.